The other major concerns I would have about it is ensuring that we can maintain them and protect them. And, you know, that would include our parks and our open spaces, the Mersey Valley. If you don't protect them and if you don't maintain them, that will affect the open space and the wildlife and the biodiversity of those areas. And they do have to be cared for and they do have to be looked after. I mean, I don't have a problem with allotments. In fact, I think it's a really good way to use green space. But I do have a problem with concreting over green space, which is what so many of these developments do. And you're just lost forever, isn't it? You could never get that back. The reason why there's never been a conservation strategy is probably because it isn't a priority with the council, and it should be, in our opinion. And it certainly is something that we would be looking at if we did control the council. Because we've realised, particularly in an area like Sale, that we've lost so many beautiful old houses. And really all these houses should be listed now. We think seriously that they should all be listed and we should be looking at conserving our heritage. There's been no heritage champion because it isn't one of their priorities. They have their priorities and that isn't one of them. There is an important link between the built heritage and the conservation of green space, yes, and that is something that probably has not been taken seriously enough or even thought about until the community begins to suddenly look at what's happening in its community and realising we're losing this. We're losing our houses, we're losing our gardens, we're losing our space, we're losing our heritage, we're losing the whole character of an area. I don't believe it does consult enough with the relevant stakeholders. I think it was very important that there were a lot of groups out there that were not consulted with, and I think it's very important that we think of every community group. They're absolutely vital. The Friends groups, the Sale Society, the Heritage Society are absolutely vital parts of our community, and it's very important that we give them the support that they deserve. Without those groups, many of the things that we value would be lost. And it's only because those groups speak up for what's happening in their community that sometimes we can campaign and be successful. Because they do have to listen. The council does have to listen when these groups stand up and speak out. That's what they're supposed to be doing, listening to their communities. The Friends groups for the parks were set up when Labour controlled the council, and that was because at the time we knew the importance of involving local people in their communities, getting them involved in the parks and working with the council, and that was really successful. I think when we start to begin to see beautiful houses being demolished and built over and developed, then I think local people have stood up and said, no, we've had enough. And yes, I mean, that is exactly what's happened here. And hopefully, I would like to think more and more people would stand up and say, enough, you know, we don't want this anymore, and that the council will start to listen.